So today there was one train of thought when we started in this business, and it was let's organize our services by service type. And again, you can see an example here of this is our software pricing module, but you can see here, this is a customer who they've organized their services based on their service, right? So they organize by AC, calibrations, diagram, blah, 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 okay? And so this is one way to do it. And so then when you or the customer request their service, they're going to say, I want a calibration, I want a diagnostics, whatever. But what we're finding out now more recently is we believe there's a better way. We believe the better way to organize and to present your pricing in ADAS service and calibration pricing is by manufacturer. Now, why are we finding this to be better? Well, number one, each manufacturer is going to have a different set of calibration opportunities, right? I mean, Ford's going to have different calibrations than BMW, which are going to have different calibrations than GM, et cetera, et cetera. So by organizing it under manufacturer, you now can organize the type of calibrations underneath the manufacturer and then the associated pricing with those services. And by the way, we're also finding that by you doing this and presenting this, but for the calibration provider doing this and presenting it to its customers, the customers they pick it up quicker because they know what kind of car they're working on. Instead of worrying about calibrations and so on, and you're going to see this in a minute, they're going to pick their vehicle and they're going to pick their service. All right, so again, two ways to do it. One is categorization by service. Again, our recommendation most recently is categorization by OEM manufacturer. Now, the other thing about ADAS services and calibrations, you need to make it easy for your customers to order your services. So one of the things that we've done recently is we now allow a calibrations customer to select the services they need for their business. So here's an example of a customer portal where the customer selected Ford, and now they're presented with all of the calibration provider services. Okay. You'll also notice, by the way, a little quote down here, they're also provided with the ability to create their own quote. And for those of you who are on the webinar, and those of you who deal with insurance companies, there are some insurance companies that require a quote early on in the process. So this is one of the reasons why we do that. But anyway, so you need to make it easy for your customers to order your services. So in this case, the customer is going to pick Ford, and then they're going to pick the service they need. Okay. And again, they're going to know what it's going to cost. There it is as they add it up. Because remember, you're providing your service pricing to the customer. And so now it's transparency, right? It's sort of like, going online and getting your plane ticket. Now they're going online and getting their calibration services and pricing. And again, real quick, real easy way to do it. And then, so I know what some of you are thinking, well, these shops, they don't know anything. They don't know what they need. They don't know what they want. Well, if they've done all the work right up front, they've identified the systems, they've identified the calibrations, they've communicated with the customer, they've got all the documentation associated with it, and they've written a proper and accurate repair plan, sure they do. But that's in theory. So again, we know in reality, that's not the case. So a lot of our customers, what they do is they add a request estimate, and instead of picking one of these, they say request an estimate. The calibration provider gets that estimate and returns it with an authorization for them to approve it. So again, from a pricing perspective, organization, you can organize it by category or by OEM. And again, we believe it's better done by manufacturer. Okay, billing and counting is also important, right? So when you're done with the service, you want accurate, detailed billing, not one-line stuff that says calibration $500. Because to me, you're not telling me anything you did with regard to the proper performance of what you've done, okay? So again, on the left is an example of a detailed invoice. And then, by the way, if you're in the ADAS calibration business, you need to manage your business. You need to understand your sales, your profits, your trends, et cetera, et cetera. So you need to have a tool and a process to tell you what you're successful at and what you're not successful at. So, you need to count, you need to see if you're winning or losing the game with regard to your sales and profitability. So again, getting paid, part of that is billing properly and counting your money when the work is done.